When you look at a book, what comes to mind? Adventure, knowledge, sitting at home on a rainy day enveloping yourself in a fantasy world. Maybe for some people, but for others, they picture a guy a with a all while using a and it's totally hot and like consensual most of the time. Welcome to Book Talk. Now, Book Talk is just one part of this puzzle that we're going to be talking about today, so we're going to have to start there and give you a little bit of context. There are lots of talks on TikTok, subgenres of TikTok focusing on a specific topic. In this instance, Book Talk refers to books. Are you following me? Stay with me. There is also a genre on TikTok called Bike Talk, a community that rides motorbikes, or at least you'd think that's what the community does, but in actual fact, it's something much, much different. And these two communities have decided to combine forces and get really, really weird on the app. But we'll get into that later. Originally, I believed, like I'm sure many others do, that Book Talk was just a community of people discussing their shared interest in books and talking about it like a book club. I read 1984 and it was amazing. Oh, I love 1984. If you enjoyed that, you should check out Animal Farm. It's great. Oh my God, yes, I love the way that it parallels a lot of real life concepts and events and creates an amazing discourse on politics, power, propaganda, and the struggle real-life countries have dealt with when faced with their own revolutions. Yeah, but did anyone f*** in it? This is the only real question that Book Talk cares about. I found out the hard way that 99% of Book Talk's recommendations are just smut. I recently bought a Kindle, and hey, Kindles are awesome. And I was excited to start and begin my reading journey. So what do? I go to Book Talk to get my first book recommendation. And what do they recommend me? A book by the name of A Court of Thorns and Roses.
Editing me here, I'm not even kidding. This is the first time I'm reading the top part of this book cover. Passionate, violent, sexy, and daring, a true page turner. I feel like that would have given me some hints as to what this book's about, but that is genuinely the first time I've read that. It makes so much sense.
Originally, I thought this book was going to be like a kind of like a Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings-esque like fantasy adventure book. I mean, it has like a dragon on the front of it. It sounds very medieval. But I should have read the blurb. This was not a fantasy dragon-slaying book filled with adventure. This was a romance novel. It was basically Beauty and the Beast, except they like multiple times in the book. And look, that's fine. I'm not a child. I know that those books exist, but nowhere in these reviews did they express that. I was totally blindsided, and by that point, when you start reading a book, you're already invested. You're like 50 pages in. You're like, oh, okay. It would have been nice to have known this before I got a quarter of the way through this book, but all right, I guess we're just reading like two people now, I guess. I do not want to be in a cafe reading about this stuff in public. So what do? I abandon this book and I go to Kindle's own website and look up their top 100 books on Kindle, their top 100 bestsellers. And what do I find? No exaggeration at all, 99 out of 100 of Kindle's top bestseller books are smut books. I was shocked. The top book is called The Housemaid is Watching. The Housemaid is Watching? There's not a Harry Potter or a Hunger Games in sight. It's just things like The Sweet Spot, Dark Prince, Ivory Ashes, Black Ties, White Lies. Daddies of the Shadows Book 10? There's 9 others? I don't even want to know what that one's about. It's all like this. It's almost impossible to get a recommendation from this list that isn't a dark romance fantasy novel. And if you read this stuff, that's like totally fine. That's not at all what I'm saying. But I am just shocked that on this list, almost every single book is one of those books. Kindle's entire demographic is just female gooners. Yeah, I said it. Welcome to the club. Join the rest of us. How does it feel? How does it feel being a gooner, okay? Just because it's a novel, just because you read it and use your imagination doesn't make you any different from the rest of us, okay? You are a gooner. I do not want to read Her Silver Fox Bikers, a military reverse harem romance. I don't, okay? I don't. But it ranks as like top 75 on the Kindle bestsellers list. And speaking of bikers, that brings us to what we're going to be talking about today. Bike Talk. Remember what I said about how these two communities have like combined forces on the app and have gotten like really super weird? Yeah. Rather than tell you, as always, I'll just show you.
Brother, this guy stinks!
First question, Why are you wearing a helmet inside? You do not need to wear that thing inside. Do you live on a freeway? What is so dangerous about your house? Do Tom and Jerry live there? Are you afraid an anvil's gonna fall from the sky and hit you on the head? Does he even have a motorbike? Who's to say? I do like to imagine that he just bought a helmet online and never actually got a motorcycle. Son, we've been listening to your requests and, well, happy birthday, son. Happy birthday. Where's the helmet? Safety first, I like it. Here you go, son. Son, you don't want to take your bike for a spin? Where did it all go wrong? The caption is, "We keep our little mouse safe." Oh, bro. The caption is bad enough, but the comments are really where it gets cringe. When I open a comments section, I generally expect maybe like 2 to 3 comments agreeing with what I think about the video. But in this case, what do I see? Thirsty, horny people. Oh, you think you can handle book talkies? Well, before you guys even notice us, we belong to the gamer guys.
Book talk girlies.
Yes, please! I'm a book talk. Look at me with this eyes. Love heart?
Ponytail! Now!
It's crazy how much encouragement these people get. This is just as bad as those like weird horny chefs on TikTok, except no one's being like, this is weird. The people doing this are like, these are like pick-me guys. This is like the equivalent of that one guy that just sits at a cafe all day reading feminist literature and just hoping a girl will notice him. Or those dudes that just post like 15 stories a day, either shirtless or just a selfie with the most pointless caption ever, like, coffee. And hey, look, where there's a demand, there will be a supply, but you are both as bad as each other. That's all I'm saying. But this is just one video we've seen. It gets worse. It gets worse. At first I was like, visor up, what is going on here? And then the visor came down and I was like, what is going on here? Why am I kind of flustered? Oh, backpack applications on Indeed, LinkedIn, or what?
Every time 50 Shades of I forgot how to breathe.
Lord, backers are my weakness. If only a handsome man would even glance my way. But alas, I couldn't conjure this if I tried.
I have one request. The helmet on.
Why did it take me so long to watch this? Love the arm tat. Brilliant. Well, I know what I'm dreaming of tonight.
It is just crazy to me that there's just a whole community of really horny people that all just congregate to one part of the app. Like, again, it's a little bit weird, but it's fine, you know, watching these videos and being like, I like this. But commenting and being like, you have no idea how this makes me feel right now, is kind of weird. Again, though, the comments are only like half of this. The videos themselves are just so much weirder.
Keep your eyes on mine.
Keep your eyes on mine. Don't look down. Don't look down right now. I don't have any pants on, okay? Just keep looking at my eyes.
That's so f***ed up.
Nah, where are these boys IRL?
I think most of them are in the ICU. I think that's why you don't see many of them. Education time. It's time to learn. I'm about to spit some facts at you in this video. Excuse the hoodie. It's really cold right now. I don't know if you can see this. I literally blew smoke. It's really cold. Anyway, time to get educated. This is the education segment. I didn't know how to segue this. Education segment. The Australian rate of motorcycle fatalities is literally 30 times higher if you ride a motorcycle than if you drive a car. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that a crazy fact? Did you know that hospitals nickname motorbike riders organ donors because most of the time they die and they just, you know, they donate their organs because they're dead. Sorry, this is not an anti-motorcycle riding video. I actually really enjoy riding motorbikes. I rode motorbikes all growing up. A lot of people in my family ride motorbikes. I'm not saying don't ride a motorbike, but it is very dangerous. I just thought maybe I'd drop a couple little facts on you guys. I'm so knowledgeable. I just thought I'd let you guys know how knowledgeable I am. There's so much information in this brain.
Just touch her. She's gonna like it anyway. Are you okay with this? Tell me if you feel uncomfortable. May I? I'll stop if you tell me to.
That's what I'm talking about. Consent, people. Consent is
everything!
This one, unironically, is actually a good message. And as this comment says, it is the bare minimum. So, not really a brag. It really should be the bare minimum. But I think this entire video can be summed up with the top comment, which says, the ladies are gonna love this. We all know why you did this, man. We all know. You didn't post that shirtless photo of yourself at the gym on Instagram so that nobody could reply to you or like that Instagram story. Okay, we know why you did that, man. Ladies, I think that consent is actually really cool. Me? I'm not like other guys. You seen that hairdresser that literally asks for their client's permission to touch their hair even though they're literally at a place of business where it's only possible to get the job done if they can touch them?
Okay, is it okay if I touch you? Yeah?
Yeah, that's pretty much me. And this all brings us to my favorite TikToker that does this content. And my favorite, that is completely sarcastic. He's my least favorite content creator. And we'll get to why in just a moment. Huh? Whoa, that's so cool, man. No, that's actually really sick. That was really cool. Thank you for showing me. Why does this just remind me of those kids that just come up to you and show you something completely pointless? Like, look what I can do, look what I can do. And they just like jump into a pool. Like not even bomb diving, not even belly flopping. They just jump in. They're like, oh, did you see it? You're like, yeah. No, that was cool, man. Thanks for showing me that. That was sick. But the part that gets to me about this guy in particular is that he replies to every single thirsty girl's comments on his videos. And I will warn you now, viewer discretion is advised.
The fact that I'm a book talk girl?
And a good girl.
This would be so Zayd Meadows.
Anytime, baby girl. I was vibing to the sound until you did that. When I say my jaw dropped, I meant it. Let me help you. Lifts chin.
Not the lift's chin, dog.
I'm set, sir.
Good girl.
Oh, honey, I got way more ideas than just that.
Let's do it. I don't care what it is.
You're really trying to fluster all the book talk girls. It's working.
Good. That's the plan.
You just know that this guy is just jorking it the whole time while replying to these comments. He's just jorking it. This guy must be ambidextrous with the way that he can just reply to these comments with one hand. It's kind of impressive. He has more videos on his page that I genuinely can't show on YouTube because what he says in them is absolutely disgusting towards women. And look, I don't really ever want to be like the virtue signaler YouTuber. I don't ever want to be the guy that's like,
I'm the internet police. Okay, this guy did something really wrong and we should all cancel him.
But what he does on his page is extremely misogynistic and disgusting and deplorable. And I literally can't show what he says because it is so foul. Like some of the things he says are just things I would expect out of like a 13-year-old like high schooler just to be edgy kind of thing, you know? It's pretty gross. I'm sure just from that description alone, you can kind of like imagine what he would say. It kind of sucks. It's pretty gross.
Hey, I found something I would look good in.
This is just a picture of the girl watching this video. Oh.
Why are they looking at me? Something on my face? Oh, behind me. It's kind of weird. Just gonna stand here. Look, I think this is all pretty cringe, but hey, if you enjoy doing this and people enjoy you doing it, then who am I to judge? I'm not going to tell you what you can and can't do. I'm just mad that I can't find a single book on Kindle that doesn't involve someone getting by a vampire or a werewolf that has like 50,000 5-star reviews on it. That's the only thing that gets me. I really don't care if you like read dark fantasy or like you enjoy these videos or whatever. But what gets me is that they recommend these books and they don't tell you that they're a dark fantasy or that that's what's involved in them. You know, I fell for this firsthand. And I'll be honest, it's just a little bit weird being like, this book? I gooned so f***ing hard to this book. You have no idea. Hours of jorking it to this one book. And just everyone in the comments being like, I can't wait to jork it to this book. It's kind of weird. And it's the same thing with these bike talk dudes, you know? Like they leaving these comments like, when I tell you, I jorked it hard to this video. Maybe leave that out. Maybe you don't need to comment that, actually. Maybe you don't need to do that. Moral of the story, book talkers, you guys are gooners. And you know what? That's fine. It's kind of weird discussing your favorite books to get off to so publicly and being so thirsty in all these comment sections. But hey, look, you do you. It's all good. Bike talk, you guys also need to chill. It's very pick me and it's very obvious and it's a little bit cringe. Also, side note, maybe have a motorbike in some of these videos. Hey? Instead of just wearing the helmet. Kind of weird. Anyway, leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Leave a comment of a motorbike emoji if you made it this far. I hope that's an emoji. And with that, I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.